Right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome along to Euros Daily. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, the 15th of June. I'm Joe Carter, and I will be your guide here on Euros Daily throughout Euro 2020. Lots to get through today with two games from yesterday to review, well, two and a half kind of, and two to preview for today. Roz's stat of the day, and we'll take a look at fantasy football. Also, of course, we need to do our man of the match day and dick of the day calls for yesterday. We've got Tom in the comments already saying hi. Hello, Tom. How you doing? He's put in his predictions. If you're watching, get your predictions in there as well. All of that to come here on Euros Daily. Comment, like, subscribe, allow notifications, and share this video. Okay, alongside me this morning, the greatest central midfield pairing since Vieira and Petit in '98. It is, of course, Roz and Mus. How you doing, guys?
Not too bad, thanks. I think that's a bit unfair to, as an Arsenal fan, Vieira and Gilberto Silva, isn't it?
No way. No, 98, they won the league and cup double with Arsenal, and then they went and won the World Cup. I mean, you can't do much better than that. By the way, you're definitely Petit with your long blonde hair, and Mus has got the fresh Vieira trim this morning.
Yeah, morning, guys. I was going to say, I think Roz is definitely Petit.
Okay, guys. First up, then, let's chat about a bit of Scotland from yesterday. Obviously, Mus and I talked about it on yesterday's pod, but it would be good to get the opinion of our resident Scottish expert, Roz. Talk us through that game. Tell us what happened, what went right, what went wrong.
You know what? I thought a lot did go right. Things I predicted before the game was that Hampden Park would be electric, and it was. Fewer people, but better atmosphere than Wembley, even, I thought. And Scotland were up for it, and they came out sort of kicking, fighting. Everything was going through Andy Robertson predictably. But actually, for the first 60 minutes or so, they really couldn't handle him. You know, it's very clear that it was all going through the left back on that, or the left wing back, and they just couldn't handle him. I think what kind of happened as the game went on is it became very clear of the gulf in talent in the Scotland squad, because you've got players playing for Man United, you've got John McGinn for Aston Villa, and McTominay, I thought, were a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
You had Andy Robertson, who was just an absolute hero all game, I thought. But then you had your front man in Lyndon Dykes, who's playing for QPR. You had a few Championship players and the Scottish League players. Jack Hendry, absolute moron. I actually thought that Scotland would still win the game, having gone a goal down. Again, sort of golfing class. You had Grant Hanley kind of just losing a little bit of concentration there. He's playing for Norwich again in the Championship. Conceded that set-piece goal, the header. Good header, but probably could have been defended a little bit better. And then actually, I still was feeling that Scotland would win the game. You combine the atmosphere with the fact that they were just kind of pelting them. They managed 10 shots. Like, I think 2-0 was pretty unfair. They were unlucky to not score.
Okay.
But then Jack Henry, in a moment of madness, decided to try and shoot when you had other options on. Could have passed to the right back. You could have passed it back. Yeah, he had so many options. Decided to take a stupid shot that was never going to go through that kind of Czech Republic wall. Fell to Schick, and I mean, you can't argue the strike, can you?
No, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, it all went to Schick from there. Thanks, Roz, for your roundup of that one. Look forward to playing Scotland as an England fan. Coming up soon, Friday night. Roz not happy with that comment. Mus, let's move on then to the games from yesterday, which we haven't talked about yet. And first up, Poland, Slovakia. Bit of an upset there, or was this always going to be a bit of a tough fixture for Poland? Slovakia obviously winning 2-1. Just so I put that in there. So.
Yeah. I think this is so far the surprise of the tournament. You know, I think yesterday when we talked about it, we were expecting Poland to do so much better. And I think most pundits were. But actually, Slovakia were great. They were like solid defensively. I think you were right to mention Martin Skriniar, who ended up being man of the match, kept Lewandowski quiet, scored a goal that Lewandowski would have been proud of.
Mate, I called it.
Yeah, you did indeed. Let's not get into who called it right before the Spain game. It won't go well for you. But
What was it, 4-0, Mercy, you said?
I think you said 4-0. But no, I thought Slovakia were really impressive. There were some players that they got in around Hamzik who looked really useful, really tricky midfielders. We saw the return of Robert Mack, return of the Mac there, former Man City youth player, never made it to the first team. He was the one who went on that weaving run that led to that first goal that was awarded to Chesney.
Okay.
I think there was also Andre Duda, the former Norwich player. Again, didn't quite cut it at Norwich, but he was everywhere, solid, contributing defensively and just really skillful as well.
Yeah, and Roz, Wojciech Szczesny continuing his hoodoo of flapping all over the shop at a tournament.
Yeah, it's a shame it's given us no goal, really. I thought it's one of those where, Robert Mack clearly playing for the wrong country, given his surname, but he had done it yesterday. But no, I mean, it's such a good run, sort of not the player on the way through. And yeah, Jetsney. What is it about former Arsenal goalkeepers? They've always got Howler in them, haven't they?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, they absolutely have. Mus, quickly then, go on.
I think Roz has just given me an idea for an 11 of players who appear to be playing for a wrong national team just based on their surname, because we've already got Bornesia, Finland, Dumfries, Netherlands, and now we've got Robbie Mack.
Okay, guys, if you are watching this, I want to get you to get in the comments, and the comments are blowing up this morning. We've got all sorts of predictions coming in. We're going to get to those once we've reviewed yesterday's games. We'll get to your predictions as we do ours. If you're watching, though, and get in those comments and give us some more players who appear to be representing the wrong country. So far, who have we got, lads?
O'Shaughnessy, Dumfries, and Robert Mack. But let's not do it in like a racist way where it's like, are you sure you're English?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
No, where are you from, mate? Where are you from? Where are you from?
And this is the problem with the spontaneity of a live podcast, and I love it. Let's see what happens. We're going to find out lots about our listenership and our viewership right now. I look forward to it, I think. Okay, let's move on, shall we, to the next game then. And what a belter this one was. Spain-Sweden. Wow. Have you ever seen a match where one team dominated possession so much in one half of football? 84% possession. 419 completed passes. A pass completion of 92% from Spain in the first half. They absolutely dominated. But they just couldn't capitalise. And the second half, Sweden probably had the biggest chance of the game, didn't they, Roz?
Yeah, there's only one stat that matters, isn't there, Joe? That's the scoreline. And, I mean, Isak should have scored for Sweden. But Isak shouldn't have scored anywhere near as much as Alvaro Morata should have scored. And again, like, we're talking about sort of former clubs and sort of curses. I mean, he seems to have the Timo Werner touch of just not being able to finish his dinner as a former Chelsea player. But what a miss that was. That was the first half, wasn't it?
Mm.
And dominant Spain. Pedri impressed. I was really impressed with Pedri, but only one stat that matters.
Yeah, lots of impressive youngsters for Spain. And it looks like kind of a warm-up tournament for them to get used to it. You got the likes of Pedri, Dani Olmo, Oyarzabal, Ferran Torres, all looked brilliant. Sarabia was a surprise inclusion. He actually made a bit of a difference when he came on. But yeah, Spain, it's kind of a generational gap time, isn't it, for them? Their starting lineup was an average age of something like 25, which is very young for a tournament. Do you see a bright future for Spain in the near future?
Yeah, I think that they'll definitely be better for it next, at the World Cup next year. I just don't think they I've always been a little bit down on Spain. I just think they don't have the balance quite right. I'm not sure they've got the right manager either. If you can contrast them with England, who have a perfect balance of players who are in form, at the right age, tournament experience, I don't think Spain are quite there just yet. But what I would say is they were playing at like scorching temperatures yesterday in Seville. It gets to like 33 degrees at 9 p.m. And although they had most of the ball, I'd imagine most of their players aren't used to that. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, challenges of playing in front of a home crowd and the pressure's there. for an inexperienced squad, but also, yeah, very warm.
Yeah, obviously finished 0-0, but a great result for Sweden. Dave's in the comments. Poland are a bit like Man United. Other clubs know how to man-mark their star player, and then they don't know what to do. Lewandowski had a shadow stuck to him all game, obviously alluding to Milan Skriniar, who just took Lewandowski completely out of the game, didn't he? Tom says it's the Chelsea curse of strikers. Torres, Morata, Werner, Kejman. That's what he said. Who else? Crespo, Shevchenko. There are so many. There's a list with strikers.
That's great because they've all been brilliant elsewhere. That's the thing. They're clearly. I mean, Crespo are the greatest strikers of, our generation.
Yeah.
And yeah, put on a blue shirt. Don't seem to do much. I love it personally.
Yeah. Okay, then, guys. It's come to that time. Before we get onto our predictions for today, I want your man of the match day for yesterday. I know it's going to be a tough one for you, Roz. Sorry, mate. Sorry to put you through this. I want your man of the match day for yesterday, and I want your dick of the day for yesterday. Mus, do you want to go first? Man of the match day?
Yeah, I think it was between Skriniar and Olsen, but I'm going to go for Olsen just for variety. I thought, he did a great job of, frustrating the Spanish in goal for Sweden.
And one more note on the Sweden players. It's just like they were all like proper like cramping up at like 70 minutes first game in, and it was just like, wow, they're really putting a shift in against this Spain team. Yeah, Olsen, fair play, good shout, man of the match day. Roz, who's your man of the match day?
I'm actually going to go for Robert Mack, just because I'm more of a sympathy one. I mean, it's clear who had the better all-round games yesterday, your Skriniars, your Olsens, players like that. But actually, he's just so unlucky to not get that goal. Would have been, certainly like one of the top 10 goals of the tournament. Unlucky to get that award as a non-goal.
Okay, well, I'm going to actually stick my oar in this morning for man of the match day. I'm going to say Pedri of Spain. 18 years old, first ever game at a tournament. Absolutely lit up. I mean, Spain's attack, everything went through him. You can see that Enrique is building the team around him in the 10. So exciting player to watch, and really, really opened up a very low block that Sweden produced a number of times. So Pedri, look out for him. That's my man of the match day. Mus, dick of the day?
Hard to look further than Morata, I'd say. Hope that's not too unfair.
Well, I mean, what about Marcus Berg at the other end for Sweden?
But I think it's about expectations, though. Like, I've never heard of this Marcus Berg guy, or and Isaacson, was a pleasant surprise. But to be honest, he just looked like a bit of a workhorse, and I never expected him to finish in a composed manner once he got there. Whereas Morata is just the whole team were doing their job, and then when it got to him, he couldn't even get on target.
It's a bit like, did you see that Luis Enrique was sitting on a stool or on a thing? He's trying to emulate Bielsa. He saw it was 0-0. He's like, right, I need a really stupid game where we either concede a lot or we score a lot. But then Morata was doing his job, missing big chances like Patrick Bamford. So,
So you agreeing with Mus then that Morata is your dick of the day, Roz, or have you got another one?
It's got to be Jack Henry. I'm so pissed off about that. I genuinely think like the game was still there to be won.
Yeah.
As soon as that second goal went in, it became a hell of a lot harder. It was just a really stupid, naive decision when Scotland were really going for it and looking like they were going to equalise, and he had much better options on. So Jack Henry, tit.
Okay. Cheers. Right, Tom's in the comments. At least one Scotland sounding player was near a goal. I think that's referring to Mac. He's also just put Forlan. Not sure if that's
the game. Sorry, like Lyndon Knight should have scored 2. Andy Robertson was absolutely pelting them. Shut up.
Oh, mate, you've riled up Roz. Okay, look, let's crack on. We'll continue that debate in the comments. I'm sure Tom will come back with something.
He hit the bar. I'm sorry, he hit the bar. What's he talking about? Could have easily won that game.
Oh, mate, I love it. I love it. I wish you could see the comments before me, Roz. Then you could just dig him out straight away, whoever's saying that. Right, okay. It's time to preview today's games then. And there's only 2 games today. What are we going to do? There's only 2 games to watch. So at 5 o'clock, it's Hungary, Portugal. And then at 8 o'clock, it's France, Germany. So let's start with Hungary, Portugal. I want predictions, man of the matches. How's it going to go? Mus?
So I think Portugal should win this easily. I was looking at the Hungary team, and their top scorer in qualifications was their centre back Willy Orban with 2 goals. So I think it's the team's not quite what it was back in 2016 when they shockingly came top of the group. That also included Portugal. On the downside, I think Portugal will miss Cancelo, who's positive of COVID, which is a real shame. But I think they should still win this one easily. I'd imagine I'll say Bruno Fernandes will be man of the match. I'll go 2-0 Portugal.
Okay. It's taking place at the Puskás Arena in Hungary. Do you think we might see a nomination for the Puskás Award from the likes of Ronaldo?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we've seen some beautiful goals so far, and yeah, the arena name lends itself to beautiful goals. Also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only stadium in the whole tournament that is allowed to have full capacity. So there'll be plenty of fans.
Interesting. Okay, sorry, remind me of your prediction there, Mus. I was busy lining up that joke, sorry.
Yeah. I could see the 2-0 Portugal.
2-0 Portugal, and your man of the match?
Fernandes.
Okay, Mus says 2-0 Portugal, Fernandes man of the match. Tom says 3-0 Portugal. Dave says 3-1 to Portugal. Andrew says 3-0 to Portugal. Tom also says Scotland hit the bar after the game. If you're relying on your left back and an average Villa midfielder who sits in Grealish's shadow, then you're just there for the experience. Roz, over to you. First, I'd like you to respond to the comments levelled at you from the comments section of the stream on Scotland, and then perhaps you could give us a prediction for Portugal-Hungary if you feel you are able to.
I'm not sure you watched the game. Best left back in the world, by the way. So yeah, if you go through the left back, I mean, it was working. And he's the best left back in the world. And not just here for the experience, best atmosphere of the tournament so far. And yeah, again, I'll say it could have easily won that game. Just a lapse in concentration and a really stupid error from Jack Henry.
Okay, should we leave that one there, and we'll crack on with the prediction now. I think you've answered. You've silenced the critics, Roz. Let's get on to Hungary, Portugal.
Haters gonna hate, mate. So actually, I'll just quickly do my stat of the day because it does relate to, of course, Ronaldo. And the one that's going about that I think everyone knows is that if he scores 1 goal, he'll become the all-time top goal scorer in European Championships, which is an incredible feat. But I found this really great negative article online where it actually lists goals scored versus games played. And in that list, in terms of actually your goal scoring ratio, your actual rate is that Ronaldo is actually 12th on that list.
Wow.
Because he's neck and neck at the moment with Michel Platini. And Ronaldo scored 9 goals in 21 games. Platini's actually scored 9 in 5 games.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. That's a rate of 1.8
yeah.
goals per game.
Didn't he score
Ronaldo's
wasn't it
0.43?
Six of them were in one game, weren't they? There were 5 or 6 of them in one game for Platini, weren't there? Back in that one tournament that he played in.
1980, was it?
Yeah, it was 80 or 78. I can't remember. Well, hang on, it would have been the Euros, so it would have been 80. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, 78 was Argentina winning the World Cup with Diego.
Knowledge.
Oh no, that was 86.
Okay, right. We are a triple threat fountain of knowledge this morning, aren't we? Right. Okay, Roz, prediction for the Hungary-Portugal game, please. Prediction and scoreline and man of the match.
Yeah, I'm like Mus. I think it's going to be tough without Cancelo. I think it's a huge miss. However, it should be easy work for Portugal still. I'm going to go for a 2-0. I think the games are in Hungary's favour. I'll stick by my prediction that they'll finish third and Germany will finish bottom. But yeah, they'll lose this one. 2-0.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to go with Portugal 2-0 as well. Man of the match. It's got to be Ronaldo, hasn't it? Surely. Okay, on to France-Germany then. Tom says France 2, Germany 1. Dave says France 2, Germany 0. Andrew says France 3, Germany 1. Mus, how do you see it playing out?
So yeah, I think on paper France edge it, but Germany have the insurance of playing in the Allianz Arena, pun intended, and I think it will be a draw. I don't know if people have read about the slight disharmony in the French squad with Giroud apparently criticising Mbappe in the press, and Mbappe again so angry that he wanted to host a press conference there and then. So
sorry, that is so professional footballer. Like if it was in a pub, it'd be like, right, outside now, let's have a fight. Yeah. Mbappe's like, right now, press conference now. Assemble the media. Come on, let's go.
That's just got his like entourage behind him.
Someone
like, come on.
He's like, someone get L'Equipe on the phone now.
Yeah. I mean, not very Gen Z though. Like with the risk of further rattling Roz, Mbappe wasn't even born the last time Scotland played in a major tournament. But yeah, I think this will be 1-1. I'll go Muller, man of the match, recently recalled.
Okay, interesting. Roz, what do you reckon?
We were talking about Poland-Slovakia game being the upset potentially of the tournament so far. I think if Germany don't lose, I actually think this will be the upset. A, because of that France squad. B, just because the way they've come into this tournament, Germany, I think it's probably the poorest German side that's actually entered the tournament in a while. Joachim Löw's already announced that he's leaving at the end for that new generation with Flick. I think they're a bit like Spain in that they're in that transition period where you've got your players like Sané and Havertz sort of ready to, take the reins. But actually, how old's Muller? 39, 45, 56? So I'm doing that.
We seem to have lost Roz briefly.
Roz am I back?
Oh, you're back. Okay. Very quickly.
But Miller's 31, Roz.
Is he only 31?
Yeah.
He's been around for donkeys, isn't he? No, this will be an easy win for France. I'm actually going to say 3-0 with Antoine Griezmann, because I don't think Benzema's fit yet.
Okay, so 3-0, Griezmann man of the match. That would corroborate with their their last meeting at the European Championships, the 2016 semi-final. France won 2-0. Griezmann scored both goals. I'm going to say 2-1 to France. I think Germany will pose a small threat, but it's a first game. They're usually closer than a 3-0, I'd say. So I'm going to go, 2-1. I think man of the match, probably safe bet to say Mbappe, isn't it? Plus, I hope he does all right because I've got him in my fantasy team. Talking of which, let's have a quick look at our fantasy team to wrap up the show. So, our fantasy league, if you will excuse me. Right, so top of the league currently still is Dominator. He's on 62 points, picked up a clean sheet for Pau Torres yesterday. 6 points for him. He's got Pogba and Ronaldo playing today. Bit of a scary one there. Andrew is in second place, 52 points. He's got Mbappe and Kante playing today. Albert and Torres and Llorente yesterday picked up a few points for him. And third is Tom Rumble. Oh, Tommy. He has got Diogo Jota to play today. That's it. So all could change at the top. In fourth, it's me and Roz joint fourth. Just going to scroll down and find Merce.
That's 3 shows in a row you've made that same joke.
Wait, start getting some points in, mate.
Joe, you're going to be devastated when those 15 points come off my bench. I'm just letting you rinse that joke while you can.
Yeah, mate. No, I'll set myself right up for it. Don't worry. Merce is on 33 points. He's got Joshua Kimmich to play today, though, so don't worry. And also Serge Gnabry if he chooses to bring him on. At the bottom, still anchoring the table, it's 0 points managed by David Bucknell. And second bottom, Pookie Woogie all night long, PB Mason. And Dave Halier is 18th with 18 points. There you go. That is your fantasy roundup for EPLW's Euros Daily. If you like what you've seen today or heard, then subscribe to our YouTube channel, EPL Weekly. If you like the video, Drop a little like on it if you've enjoyed it. Put some comments in there. Share it with some friends. Subscribe to the channel if it's your first time watching. And we're going to see you tomorrow, as we will every day throughout this tournament for Euros Daily. Mus, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Roz, thank you very much.
Later.
I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon.